Hey everybody, live on Facebook. Welcome to What Did You Write Today, May 12th, 2016. And we're going to do a topic that's been requested for a while now, both unironically and ironically. The topic today is drugs. So if you have a comment or a funny joke suggestion, for those of you who are watching for the first time, which is likely none, I have a nice little chalkboard here, some chalkboard wallpaper, and we work on material. We take a concept that becomes material before your very eyes. We work out all these related themes. We come up with ideas for jokes. And if you have a comment, arrived here a little late. I was at the two mics that I run today, Kissing Booth, 6 p.m. every Thursday, and then the second Thursday of every month, No Jokes Allowed. Co-host those mics with my best friend in the world, and the funniest guy I know, Stephen D. Sienna. Also a one-liner comic. You know, not to name drop, but one time I was having lunch with these guys, a couple of other guys, Julio Torres, Joe Rumrill, and we were sitting by. There's a group of about 8 comics, and all the one-liner comics sat together, and all the storytelling comics sat together without, we didn't even notice. It was a subliminal thing. But you know what? I believe everybody's a one-liner comic, even if you don't think you are. Because even if you're telling a funny story about your day, you still have to make the audience laugh once every 5 seconds or so. And guys like Bill Hicks, Patrice O'Neill, guys that a lot of people say were truth tellers, stuff like that, they had jokes and they had punchlines. So we're going to put on an album for you. Well, I'm so sorry I'm running late with everything today. Just got home. Let's put on... How about this? This is a little bit of a kick to it. Usually on Thursday I listen to the stuff with a kick. And on Sunday I listen to a smooth. So this is Corey Kobayashi. Hour and 20 minutes. Okay, we might have to cut out a little early, but that's fine. So then we'll cut out... Okay. All right. Usually we only go about an hour. Brand new pen. I know you guys like when I shake the pen. Oh, so today's topic is drugs, and of course that gets me thinking about a lot of things right off the bat. This is the first time I've done a week. People love the hug. Where is my phone? Getting a lot of pen shaking today. If you have a comment or a question, feel free to leave it below. We're going to have it on Facebook before you know it. Not lay low, Matthew. Thank you, Ryan. We're going to have the comments posted on my YouTube video. Good for you guys to know. I'm going to upload these to YouTube, and I figured out a way to... There we go. You're not too late, Matthew. Matt Morano, good friend of mine. Go back a little ways. But anyway. So, of course, what do you think of the drugs? Types of drugs. Weed. So it comes with weed, opium, heroin, cocaine. Now we have our main topic, and then we have main subtopics, and then we break those down. So for example, drugs make me think of weed, which makes me think of stuff like heroin, cocaine, opium, but then cocaine makes me think of Coke, Pepsi, stuff like that. So it makes me think of dealers. So feel free to leave a comment or a question. I'll be reading them momentarily and throughout the show. Weed dealers, weed comics. I think of addiction, certainly, which is not that funny, but could be. Then, of course, there's other types of addictions, like sex and food, in my case. And then you go to AA, rehab. You get all these ideas down. The ideas are all there. They need to get down. So a dealer is kind of like a stoner, a loser, a schmuck. Drugs are bad. I'm kidding. Right? The whole weed comic thing, it's kind of hack. Makes it look at the drug motion. Vaping is very popular right now. And it reminds me they have a whole bunch of smells like bacon and vanilla. So what are drugs bad and then like crack kills? This is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be all over the board today. So, usually I can kind of this, but my mind is kind of going. What else have we got? Dealers. What do drug dealers do? They sit around. Medical marijuana. Maybe we can talk about the process of getting high. So what do you get? The munchies, right? You freak out. Mellow. I don't have my water bottle with me today. Should get that in a minute. This will have to do. Forgive me. That reminds me, dealers remind me, sorry about that. Dealers remind me, who are the kind of people that do drugs, right? What are some stereotypes about that? Jazz musicians? Who else? What do they do drugs? Stereotype, young people. Students, college. Do smoking. I like to get high. Boy, you could do a lot of jokes about pot. Right? Brownies. How else do people smoke? They use a bong. Reminds me of the sound. Pot, brownie, weed comics. I like to get high. And you could do something about that. Right when you get high, right, you get baked. Getting baked, getting stoned. Dealers sit around. What else do dealers? They watch cartoons. The guys who made my first batch of t-shirts were huge stoners, and I remember while I was waiting for them to make it, we would sit around and watch Adult Swim shows, and it was so, like... At one point, they had like a huge collection of MP4s, and they'd play them on random, so we'd be watching the Oblongs 1 minute, and then King of the Hill. But we'd stick around, and oh my goodness, what a weird bunch of characters. What do weed comics do? They like to get high, they smoke on stage. What else? What do you call? You call it a joint? A pot cigarette? Dealers, they sit around, they watch cartoons, it's illegal. Undercover cops. Right, there could be drugs backstage. Right, you snort it. Rodney has that joke, I don't like cocaine, I just like the way it smells. I used to have a joke, I kind of do that as a riff. A lot of this is going to have to be riffs and faux crowd work. So what's the joke? It's a great song, it's called Airflow. Corey Kobayashi, if you want to look her up. Alright, so what do we got? Dealers, undercover cop. What else could happen to a dealer? Well, they deal, certainly. Right, it's like, don't look and be careful. Funny if my agent was a drug dealer. Could be. Or a manager or a promoter. Or maybe I can take, because I already do a joke where it's like, I don't do jokes about sex, and then I spin it off to make fun of myself. I can do that with drugs. I don't do jokes about drugs. Right. Certainly can relate other addictions, alcohol, beer. What are some good crowd work? My stock line, sometimes I'll ask somebody in the crowd what they do for a living, and they'll say, oh, I'm a drug dealer. And I'll say, hey, can you see me after the show? Which is passable, but not that great. So I want to think of a better, funny one. And the names of the drugs can be very funny, right? OxyContin. Because pills. My friend Bob Hansen has a funny joke where he says, I had a girlfriend who took so many pills, Pac-Man used to play her. Watch cartoons, sit around, people, young people, students. Maybe I can spin it on. I'm hip. I'm hip. I've smoked a pot cigarette. This could be a funny one. I'm not addicted to drugs. I'm addicted to food. One time I almost overdosed on Coke Zero. I don't know, that's tough. Coke is like overdosed on cocaine. Cocaine, Coke Zero, Coke Classic. We could write it down. It is a joke. Food is my addiction. One time I almost overdosed on Coke Zero. Food is my drug. One time I overdosed on Coke Zero. That one's not stage ready. Let's see if we can get one that's stage ready. Cigarettes. Oh, you know what might be a good one? A lot of people will say sugar is as addictive as cocaine, which is not true. But sugar is an addiction. Sugar. You know, they say sugar's as addictive as heroin. One time I almost overdosed on Coke Zero. Dosed on Coke Zero. Sugar's almost as addictive as heroin. Drugs. I'm thinking now, that's kind of my main goal for today, is to get a good crowd work response to when someone either says I deal drugs or I smoke drugs. Because I already have a decent joke where I say, see, this is the problem, I can't think of it 100%. I say, oh man, my druggy friends, they're broke, they have to snort cocaine through a nickel. Instead of $1. Alright. Ugh. I'm hip. I've smoked marijuana cigarettes. I know who Charlie Camel is. They have mascots. OxyContin is just oxycodone with an attitude. I think a good way to think of heckler comebacks or heckler jokes is to imagine in your head them shouting it at you and then using that pressure. You'd be surprised what you could think of. I'm not saying like out there and doing it, like right now you visualize it. Kids love it. You, what do you do for a living? I'm a drug dealer. Oh, I can't do drugs. I don't have any money. I'd have to snort my cocaine through a nickel. Maybe I can link that instead of saying my drug friends. To snort cocaine through a nickel. Drug paraphernalia like a dime bag. My agent takes 10% of my dime bag. I like to call it taking a hit. You like to vape? Vaping is hip. As for me, I can't vape. Alright, what is vape? Water vapor? What the heck is it even? I like the thread to me having no money. Yeah, I can do a joke. I'm from Staten Island. I can do a joke about drugs being bad there. That's a bit of a stereotype, that Staten Island drugs are not good. People will believe any stereotype about something being bad in Staten Island. Although I'm afraid of that one because if I perform it in Staten Island, somebody would be like, my friend Jerry has good drugs. Drugs, huh? You ever kiss your fingers? You like drugs, huh? Oh, drugs are no good. Yeah. Oh, maybe I performed for a rehab center. I performed for Potheads Anonymous. Cocaine Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous. I performed for Alcoholics Anonymous. It was a 2-drink minimum. Boy, that joke wrote itself. And quit comedy. It was a 2-drink minimum. Let's check some comments. Oh, wow. Oh boy, so what do we got? Doobie is a funny word. Thank you, Carolyn. Snort cocaine through a penny? Similar joke, I know. Well, excuse me, Luke. Actually, let me know. If you do that joke, Luke, I apologized. I apologized, and I apologize. Carolyn Busa, is that a chalkboard? Is chalkboard wallpaper? Yes. AS and liquid chalk. We got fans. Stereotype, bath salts. Bath salts, I like that. 2-drink minimum is good. Thank you, Keaton. Okay. Doobie is a funny word. And then what else? Liquid chalk. Bath salts. Yeah, not bad. My drug dealer is pretty stupid. He's trying to sell me bath pepper. the weird thing. Right. Gonna do this tip. Best tip ever in writing, right here. Oh, you put the slash. You have two ideas battling in your head? Write them both down. They say sugar's as addictive as heroin. Yeah, I once overdosed on Coke Zero. Sometimes if you don't have enough space, what I do is I just do a little arrow and say link number 1 to number 5, and number 5 is... that to 1. There you go. There you go. I've been doing a lot of opposite jokes, so maybe we can move on. Six guides I like to do with the joke. Replace, which is what we do here. We replace all the time. Putter sound alike. I just used that. Cocaine, Coke Zero. Context or meaning. And historical or social. That's sort of delving into what things exactly mean. Sort of a what's the deal with that. Opposite, very easy, and cliches is preying on or using ideas that relate to people's general understanding of something and twisting it. And almost always I twist it to make fun of myself. So let's see. Mary Jane. Pot brownie? Oh, man. My friend gave me a brownie filled with pot. A baking pot. Tried to sell me bath pepper. Vapes. You can vape inside. I always think that's funny that people can brag about being able to vape inside. You can vape inside. All right, whatever. heroin. I like the snorting. Crowd people say, I'm a drug dealer. You deal drugs? Luke, if you do a joke about snorting through cocaine through a penny, and as I'm thinking in my head, I think you might, I apologize profusely. You're a good guy. Luke Mona is a very funny guy. Look him up. If so, I will give that the old cross out. Oh. Now, deal or no deal, I think, is a funny... Oh. Deal or no deal? Oh, man. It's tough because the words deal or no deal is in drug dealer, which sometimes can be helpful, sometimes it can be tougher to write a joke about that without being too many words. Deal or no deal? You are the weakest link. Is that your final answer? God, that's such a... Deal or no deal? Yeah, deal or no deal. We'll figure it out. What's the deal? What's the deal with drugs? You deal them. What? I do think there's a lot to do with performing for rehab clinics and stuff like that. Oh man, I did a gig for Alcoholics Anonymous. 2 drink minimum. So what happens at rehab, right? They give you a lot of... They say they give you a lot of water and vitamin water. That's kind of obscure. What do? They keep you alone. Away from other people. Rehab. You go in a circle. I'm Steven, and I'm a comedian. I had a joke where it was like, oh man, what was the joke? Something anonymous. I guess what I'm saying is deal or no deal. I like to do drugs. I'm freaking out, man. I did a show high. I did a show for Potheads Anonymous because they couldn't remember their names. It's hard to do crowd work at blank Anonymous. Maybe I did a corporate gig. What are some High Times magazine? What are some other things? Is that even still around? Just the word vape is very funny. Vape. Club was hip. They had a 2 vape minimum. To vape. I'm cool. I can vape. Just the other day, I vaped. I vape. You ever vape? You ever vape while high? Dude, you guys ever vape while you were high? Oh man, I'm on, you know. You ever get high and then vape? Whew. I'm cool. You ever get high and then vape? You ever vape while high? I'm cool. You know what I like to do? I like to get high and then I like to vape. You ever vape and then get high? Okay, I gotta write one of these down. He's a vape. The vape sell Lucy's. Alright, I have a lot of ideas here and I gotta get them down fast. I'm a hip guy. You ever get high and then vape? You ever vape while high? Oh, you do drugs, huh? You ever vape while high? Whew. You ever vape while you're high? You ever get high and then vape? So that'll be a response if someone says they like to do drugs. Label it CW for crowd work. You know why I label it CW? Because it's boring. Just kidding. I like the Flash. Alright. You ever get high and then vape? Whoa! You ever vape while high? You ever get high? Let me finish. And then vape? You ever vape? You ever vape while high? Yeah? Now what was the other one? There's Lucy's with vape and a vape dealer. My friend's a drug dealer. He's not smart. He's trying to deal vape. He's trying to deal vape. Trying to deal vape. Can you deal vape? God, I'm so lame. Lucy, I'm home. And P.D. DeBray, who I saw tweeted that. Funny guy. Funny guy. And a good friend. Friends of drug dealers, that's why he's trying to deal vape. Deal or no deal? Deal or no deal? I got a drug dealer friend who wants to be a comedian. Every time he gives somebody pot, he says deal or no deal. Oh, God. Let's read the comments. I want to see an ape vape. Coke Zero minimum. Oh, thank you, Luke. I appreciate it. Whew, that makes me feel good. Luke told me I'm off the hook. Hot brownies. I thought they were made on a tray. Gongs. Bongs. Once overdosed on Werther's Originals. Matt Morano knows what's up. That's a great tag. Oh, now I want to write a Werther's Originals joke. I love this weed. Thank you, Nick. Riff on bongs for a few minutes. Bomb. I thought you said bong. Bongo. Do thong song, but it's a bong song by Sisk. Whoa. Isolation. Let me see that bong. 2 drink maximum. Okay. Put down the briefcase and pick up the bong. Bath salts anonymous. And talk about this night. Oh, Carolyn. You ever get high and eat your own butthole? The pen shake kills me. Well, welcome to the show, Carolyn. There's so much more to explore with Coke Zero. To vape or not to vape. Nick Palumbo, that's all right. To vape or not to vape. Says vape or no vape. Deal or no deal. My friend's an undercover cop. He tries to... Oh, man, my friend's an undercover cop. He tries to act cool with drugs, but he comes off... So he says, deal or no deal. Oh, man. It's making me cry. Maybe that could be a good "you're a cop," because I had somebody be like, "I'm a cop," and everybody was instantly afraid because, you know, the pigs, man. Oh, my friend's an undercover cop. He tries to bust weed dealers, but he tries too hard. Whenever he deals, he says deal or no deal. Oh, God. That has to be condensed. Deal or no deal, undercover cop. You know, an undercover cop's trying to be too hip when he says to the guy, deal or no deal. Oh boy. You an undercover cop? Huh? Trying to be hip? Huh? Huh? Boy, my tummy is grumbling. Got chicken cooking up. Smells great. Some chicken thighs. Cayenne pepper, onions. Put some hot sauce on it. Splash of vinegar. That's a new recipe I'm trying out. Put a little vinegar in there. when he says to the buyer, deal or no deal. By the way, the joke of the week is coming back tomorrow. Somebody had a special request from somebody yesterday about it, and so now that Instagram's a minute, I'll be bringing him back. Bring him back. Lucy's. He's trying to deal vape. Play Ramstein while I write. Funny idea, Nick. Vape bong. I don't know, but I go to that party. Stop crying, Steve. Undercover cop, yeah. Bring the chicken thighs into frame, maybe later. Do toke of the week. Hashtag get the chicken. I'll post a photo of the chicken later. That'll be a real treat for the fans. Okay. A lot of this is crowd work, you know what I mean? It's tough, but I don't like to do jokes about drugs. I certainly don't say that I do drugs. But I'll do jokes about knowing somebody who's an idiot or stuff like that. A lot of crowd works. This is all pretty much crowd work. The Coke Zero one, I think, might have a little something. The Alcoholics Anonymous. It's tough to make fun of alcoholics. A lot of them are full of rage. All right. I did a show for Potheads Anonymous. Oh. You want to talk about... I did a show for guys who were addicted to vape. Oh, man. Okay. So this is sort of the second idea that I have. Performed for Vape Anonymous, they all bragged about being inside. I like the idea because people who vape, you know, like, oh, you can be inside. Oh. He's a vape dealer. He got arrested for vaping. Vape. You have to also be careful. Vape sounds a lot like rape, and I don't really like to do rape jokes. Performed for Vape Anonymous. Oh, they all bragged about being inside. They just sat around and bragged about being inside. You ever been to Vape Anonymous? The guy says, my name's Mike, and isn't it so great to be inside doing this? Vape Rehab. love that deal or no deal joke. It's so stupid. Bath salt's more like bath pepper. Oh. I'm on a vape cruise. Getting close to the end, folks. Think of one or two more. See if I can think of a vape or a... We might have to revisit this soon. You know, I don't like to do drug jokes, but this is kind of fun. Let's see. Vape, cigarettes, bath salts, LSD, crack kills, vape kills. OxyContin, addicted. He's addicted to vape. He just stays inside and brags about it. I have a friend who's addicted to vape. He just stays inside and brags about how nice it is inside. I have a friend who's addicted to vape. He just stays inside and brags about being there. I'm high on life, and I vape. Plus, I vape. Seriously though, anybody have some vape? You're a drug dealer? You have vape? Oh man, I love vape. You're a drug dealer? You have vape? Kind of want to get one or two more in. I feel like these jokes maybe aren't that great. Maybe one or two of them. This one's not bad. Alcoholics Anonymous, 2-drink minimum. What are they called? E-pens? Vape pen? God, vape? Do you vape your mother with that mouth? I like that one. My drugs are killing on Google Vape. Count Vapula. You ever, vape? Drugs, huh? You ever vape? Alright, I want one joke that's like a fundamentally sound setup punchline joke, which I think the anonymous one has the most out of that. I performed for Vape Anonymous. They love being inside. I performed for Vape Anonymous. You start being careful because, yeah, we got a little bit of time. In about 5 minutes or so, they're going to really start cracking down on us. The number one way I'd say this is if someone says, I love to do drugs, or if they have a marijuana leaf on their shirt. My friend's pretty hip. He's got a vape on it. He doesn't have a marijuana leaf shirt. He's got a vape on his shirt. God. You guys like to vape? Werther's Original. Did a corporate gig for Werther's Original. Oh boy. Toffee or not toffee? I like to get high. I perform for blank anonymous and blank. It's also tough to do anonymous jokes like Drugs Anonymous because some people start their own problems or their friends' problems start to creep in. Oh boy, we're getting there. One more, baby. I'm addicted to you know they have a new vape scent that's like the Baconator? Yeah, I had it the other day, and you eat it like a cheeseburger. Vape even has a Baconator scent. It's weird. You have to eat it like a cheeseburger. Come to think of it, I don't think I vape. We'll write that down. Let's get one more joke, baby. One more. Ooh, we're getting close. What did you vape today? I wish I was dead. Coke Zero you later. Vaping, he gave me Vagus, so I don't know, Nicholas. That's a little... Oh, you guys are wacky. So the joke we wrote down was, I vape. They got this new Baconator scent, and you eat it like a cheeseburger. I don't think I vape. Let's do one more. One more. All right. I might not have time for one more. I know I can do it. You'll see the chicken. All right, so let me... You know what? I don't know... Let's see. I actually might not have enough time. Let's see if I can find... There we go. Alright. I'm going to have to call this one a little early. Let's see the jokes we wrote today. Alright. This was the joke web. And these are the jokes we wrote. Food is my drug. One time I overdosed on Coke Zero. I don't do drugs. I have no money. I have to snort cocaine through a nickel. Perform for Alcoholics Anonymous. 2-drink minimum. My drug dealer, or my friend's a drug dealer and he's not very smart. He tried to sell me bath pepper. Sugar's as addictive as heroin. Yeah. Then I overdosed on Coke Zero. You ever vape while high? My friend's a drug dealer. He's not very smart. He's trying to deal vape. You know, an undercover cop is trying too hard to be cool when he says to the buyer, deal or no deal. I perform for Vapes Anonymous. They all brag about being inside. Ugh. You're a drug dealer? You have vape? Drugs? You ever vape? Well, let's see what we got here. That's the Joke Hospital, which I revamped. We'll be doing that later in the week of the month. I vape. Got this new Baconator flavor. You eat it like a cheeseburger. I don't think I vape. So basically that's it. I think we're going to call it an early night. Wait a minute. What's this? Uh-oh! 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 Oh, look at that. Whew! Yeah! Oh, look at that. 4 good thighs. That's like enough for 3 people, but that's half a serving for me. Boy, that looks really good, huh? This looks ready to eat, actually. So anyway, that's the beauty of doing this show. The beauty of doing this show is that it takes about an hour, and that's how long it takes to make chicken. All right, guys, I'll... What, no vinegar? No, you put the vinegar in the mix, Johnny. 4 good thighs. Hey, sounds like Friday to me. Anyway, oh, my skin's a little dry. But hey, the chicken is good. So anyway, frogs, what is this, Magnolia? Show the oven more often. It's a good oven, Rob. Okay. All right. Looks like I'm done for today. I appreciate it, you guys. I think it'll be a recurring segment that I go down and see the food I'm about to eat. But it might be a little boring to just show you a box of mac and cheese. All right, folks. Once again, what did you write today? This will be on YouTube before you know it, and I'll have the comments. So like and favorite it. See you later, guys.